Salam, guys. Rusty operator. Let's hit it. Alright. Let's start checking this shit. Oh, let's go, Rean, baby. He doesn't, you know? No, you. The first engineer squad of the 3rd Armored Division. We brought a lot of tools and materials to help clear the way out of rubble, and you're welcome to use them if you want. System RPG has orbits too if you want. Well, why don't you sell them to me? I'll pay for that. Oh, you can't. I lost some good friends last night. I'm still having trouble getting over it. Ro might have been the hardest working soldier here. Can't believe he's just gone. Please do what you will in this station. Why did you die? Yeah, sad. What are you talking about? Oh. We need to focus all our visions toward the east. You have my permission to conduct your investigation. Speak to my men. Let's stay out of their way as much as you can. We can focus all your visions toward the east. You have my permission to conduct your investigation. Speak with my men. Let's stay out of their way as much as you can. We need to reestablish our surveillance of the Imperial or Republican Army as soon as possible. From now on, we of the 3rd Armored Division will be stationed here to take over surveillance duties. First and foremost, though, we need to get a thorough understanding of what's going on here. We need to reestablish our surveillance as Republican Army as soon as possible. From now on, we of the 3rd Armored Division will be stationed here to take over surveillance duties. First and foremost, though, we need to get a thorough understanding of what's going on here. We need sheriff's room. I keep telling Zets and Manning, I keep telling Zats and Manning to get some rest, but they just won't listen. Can't say I blame them though. They're the only ones who survived the attack without suffering major injuries, after all. Yeah. Shut up. What is this? What's up, Lisa? Is there something unusual about that scrap metal? I knew it. This is a mortar shell manufactured by the Rean company. Are you sure? Yeah, I've seen them before on the assembly line. These are only a couple models capable of fire use kind of shell. That would suggest that the mortar used to fire it was also made by the Rean company. So if you assume that's true, it seems much likely the Republic was responsible. True. Why would the Republican Army use a weapon made in an empire? It doesn't make much sense to me. Even if we account for deception, it seems unlikely that Kyber would go this far to conceal their involvement. Though considering the stakes, we can't entirely rule out the possibility. Still, this might prove to be an important clue to solving this mystery. Rome, why'd you have to go and die on me? That seems pretty down. Can't say I don't understand how he feels though. It was right when the shift changed. Rome came out to relieve me, and I was chatting away with him like always, and that's when the first shot hit us. It was around 3 in the morning. So it was around 3 then. And in the middle of the night, I was on the lookout. I should have known something was off, but that explosion completely took me by surprise. I was so sure nothing would ever happen out here. That's when something actually did. I was totally useless. If I'd been paid a little more attention, if I'd been a better soldier, Rowan might still be with us right now. It's not your fault. No one could have predicted death. I guess it would have happened. You can hardly blame yourself for a lack of vigilance after being stationed in a peaceful area like this for so long. You're attacking your dead of night knowing your guard would be down. I wonder if it really was Republican Army's doing it after all. We need more information before we can say for sure. No, I don't think it was them. There was something else that happened before we came under attack. We heard an explosion coming from the Republican base. When we looked, we saw smoke pouring from it. What? We knew that both bases were attacked, but did both attacks really happen around the same time? If so, it's unlikely that either army was responsible. Who's responsible then? We should keep this in mind as we piece things together. I looked at escape spirit set, but it wasn't really luck. It's because Roan picked me up his life. Why, Roan? However you had to make you work, but why didn't you just save yourself? I don't know what to say. We just focus on our investigation. That's all we can do for him right now. Why, Roan? I'll never be man like you are. Why didn't you just save yourself? It's awful. It really is. It looks like they got hit hard. And to think they were casualties. You know the Imperial Army isn't going to sit and twiddle their thumbs after suffering an attack like this. They have their image to uphold after all. Hey, looks like the most of the damage is concentrated on the south side of the building. You think whoever carried out the attack could have done it from the highlands? Seems very likely. But where on the plains could they launch an attack like that from? But the highlands are incredibly vast. We need some kind of clue to even know where to start looking. Yeah, hopefully we'll be able to find something here that'll point us in the right direction. What's the situation with the Red Purple Army? Looks like they're really hustling over there. We've confirmed the number of armored vehicles entering and exiting the area. We've heard their base got hit pretty badly too. And even from over here, it looks that way. The general said that the Republican base got hit at least as hard as the Watchtower, if not hard. But we believe they were responsible for that as well. They need an excuse to attack us, and that sure as hell looks like one. Do you really think it's true? That much damage seems awfully excessive. They probably just got overzealous with the explosives. Doesn't make much difference either way. If they're raising enough to attack us, we'll blow them back cross border. Soldiers here all seem to have their doubts. About hard areas, we're not going to be able to convince them of anything. We should reconsider the possibility that this was a deliberate act attacked by Calvert's forces. I think that's all the information we can gather here. I think so too. Now we need to analyze what we've learned. First, we should establish a good picture of what has happened, what was happening when the attack occurred. That seems like the best place to start. So first of all, what time did the actual attack on the Watchtower happen? It was 3 a.m. Yes, that's what the guard told us, but that wasn't all that was going on then. That's right, the Republican Army space also came under attack. And according to the Lieutenant General, they suffered even greater damage than what happened here. I think we can safely discount the possibility the Republican Army bombed their own forces then. But there's no evidence that the Imperial Army launched an attack either. All we know is that both attacks happened and both sides took heavy damage. However, as Alyssa said, we have no evidence to suggest that either side was responsible. If we accept that as fact, the most likely scenario is that the responsibility lies with another party entirely. So you think a third party is working behind the scenes for both countries since the start of the war? This between the Empire and the Republic are always high, but compared to other areas of similar political value, the North Highlands have always been peaceful. I can see of no reason either country would have decided to break that peace last night. I agree. If anything, it seems that the negatives would outweigh the positives for both parties. If this were Crossbow, it might be a different story, but here, now that you mention it, we found something else odd about that Watchtower. The attack on the Watchtower, didn't we? Something that seems to point to a third party's involvement. Something else odd about the attack on the Watchtower. I bet she's referring to this. You're talking about the mortars used for the attack, right? Exactly. It looks like the orbital mortars they used in the attack were an old Rheinford model, and I, for one, find it pretty unlikely that the Airborne Army is packing Airborne-made weapons. Fuck you, bitch. Indeed, they have little reason to be considering the Republic. They have little reason to be considering the Republic has its own major orbital technology manufacturer, the Verne Company, as I recall. Yeah, the Verne Company is responsible for manufacturing explosive arms used by the Republican Army. Then there's the fact that the mortar used here is old. The Imperial Army hasn't used this model for years. I've heard that military surplus sometimes makes its way onto the black market and ends up in the hands of mercenaries. Knowing that, it seems unlikely that either army chose to use it to cover its tracks. Quite. However, there is a far more pressing question we need to answer. What do you mean? I know where you're going. We need to know where the attack was launched from in the first place. It's going to be difficult to work out, but without that vital detail, our speculations thus far is for naught. If we intend to avert war, we need more than speculation. We need conclusive evidence. Agreed. But the Highlands are far too vast to just strike out searching blindly, especially with the Lieutenant General's deadline rapidly approaching. Actually, we may not have to start our search blind. If at least some guys will lend me a hand, I may be able to help. Huh? What do you have in mind? If I can factor the location of the damage together with the speed and trajectory of mortar shells, and then take into account the Highland's winds, I may be able to estimate the area from which a mortar was fired, or potentially anyway. Are you serious? It's not easier said than done. I'll do what I can. Are you familiar with the specifics of the shell that was used? I think so. It's an old model, but I should be able to give you some fucking rough data. Hey, that should be plenty. Anyway, let's have another look at those damaged areas and start calculations. Please, come with me, everyone. Right, Emma. Alright, I think I've calculated a rough location. I believe the motor was fired from a location up to the south here. Using the map as a reference point, that means it was likely launched from somewhere in this area. According to my calculations, the launch site shouldn't be too far from here. Well, I can't believe you managed to work that out, bitch. That's well beyond the level of mathematics we cover in class. I enjoyed watching Reckons really sweat it out trying to best you on our next midterm. Just a little applied physics. I couldn't have done it without at least Guys' help. Looks like we've got a nice big piece of the puzzle right in our hands. Sure seems like it. Let's take off and start looking. Right. You know, if a reporter finds the soldier in charge and asks him to relay the intel to Zender Gate. Afterward, they set out on horseback to begin their search. Alright, let's start looking for where the mortar was actually fired from. If what Emma calculated is correct, it should have been fired from a point south of the watchtower, and most likely from a point that's not easy to overlook, so that it's not found out. Let's see if we can find anywhere that fits this description. We'll likely need to rely on the map to help us. I wonder if the culprit could still be there. Regardless, we should see what we can find. Yeah.
Here!
Hey, over there. You found something? There's a rope. What's a rope ladder doing all the way up here? I can hardly believe his presence here to be mere chance. Do people in Nor use this area for anything? Not that I've ever known. This just got more suspicious than perhaps the mortar was fired from somewhere up there. It definitely seems worth a look. I'm just not sure how we're going to get up there. We can't reach that rope ladder from down there. I see no way to climb up the cliff face either. If you have any suggestions, now would be a fine time. I'm gonna believe I have an idea. What if we were to make use of Ellis's orbital bolt? About how you're able to hit the core that's trying to hit the rope ladder. Perhaps it would unroll itself allowing us to climb up. I'm glad you think I'm that good of a shot, but I really don't see it working. It was just a thought. Well, it's not like we have any better ideas. Why not give it a try? True enough, at times one reason we don't have much right now. Something for some manner of tool to pull it down would cost us precious time. Sounds well. I can't argue with that. Alright, here goes nothing. What did Emmett do? Wait, it actually worked? You seem to have the marks of a great hunter. It seems this is a day for lucky shots. We'll have to start calling her Quick Draw Alyssa. I just managed to order that arrow blow for a second. Well, now that we can reach the ladder, why don't we have a look up top of the list? Yeah, let's see what's up there. There. Exactly the smoke gun we were looking for too. Well, old orbital motors all around 4 miles too, and it looks like they've been reused recently. Bastards. So this is where they were hiding them. I can see why they chose this place. Who would think to look here? There was a flooded area after firing them last night, leaving the launchers where they were. Unfortunately, though, these alone do not furnish enough evidence to support war. You're right, unfortunately, we just had a bit more evidence. Still, this is a solid step forward for our investigation. Perhaps we should return to Xander Gate and let the Lieutenant General know. That sounds like a good idea. Alright, let's go report. I'm sure they can't be fired again, so not to worry about. Alright, let's go. Lost. Really wasted our time here. But there, isn't that? Is that fire we saw fleeing from Arch Fort near Bearheart? There's no mistake something that strange, and it looks like something's carrying it. It's carrying something. It can't be a coincidence that they'd show up now of all times. They're heading northwest and we're going after them. Right, saddle up.
We can't let them get away!
Right. We need to overtake them.
Fast! Just don't lose sight of them. Yeah!
Down near the stone circle? There's no escape for them now.
If we saw him landing around here, I've seen someone up ahead. Really? I'm betting it's that thing we're chasing. It's our quarry's final pin reach. I think it was carrying a young girl. Well, we'll find out what we're dealing with soon enough. There they are. She really does look like a child. But what is that silver construct for? Save the speculation for later. We need to capture them before they escape.
I think that about covers everything. Now, what to do? It'd be easy enough to overpower them, but there's a good chance some of them would get away. But just killing them all seems really cruel, too.
Halt! Stay where you are!
Ooh, it's the military academy students.
She knows about us?
How?
Just who are you?
And what's that thing beside you?
So, who are you? Were you involved with the attacks on the Watchtower and the Republican Army's base?
We'd rather not accuse you of a crime you didn't commit. But can you at least tell us who you are and what you're doing here?
Aw, how did I end up being the bad guy? This is gonna make things a bit sticky. Oh, I know what I can do! Everything will go hunky-dory if you guys help me out.
What?
What are you talking about? But first, I hope you won't mind if I give you a little test, just to be sure you're up to the challenge.
Is that a challenge?
I'm Milliam Orion. And this is Eric Getlam, but you can just call him Lammy for short. Okay, let's get started! Let's get started! Right!
My turn! There!
Leave it to me.
It's my turn! Analyzing the enemy's vitals. I've got it!
Milliam, a mysterious girl, gives orders to Silver Combat puppet with her, overpowering foes with powerful strike.
I can do
Jeez.
this.
Fucking Christ.
Oh no, you're doubles in range!
Go! All right.
There it is. What are you doing?
Okay.
Didn't work. Solid. Did I do?
Gleaming
Didn't work.
Glow!
My turn!
I corrected it. Didn't work. Huh.
Lammy! Thanks!
Right. Fancy boy. Didn't work. Huh. No.
This is my party armor arrow!
My turn!
Yeah! Yeah!
It's my turn. There! My turn!
Lammy! Thanks! Okay, here!
Leave it to me.
There! Here we go!
It's my turn! Right here! Gotcha!
Here we go!
Guess I let my guard down.
We'll cut our own path.
Wow! You guys are pretty tough! Yep, looks like you'll be great for the job, all right!
We've had quite enough of your wild chases and your games.
You were the one who attacked both of those military facilities, weren't you? Oh, no, that wasn't me! Ugh, what can I say to make you believe me?
Just tell us what you can. Anything you know that might help us find out who was actually responsible.
You said you wanted our help? If helping you would restore peace to the Highlands, we're ready to help out however we can. But you have to talk to us. Help us understand what's happening.
Come on, you two.
I hope you don't come to regret your naivete.
You said your name was Milliam, right? We really don't have much time. So could you tell us what it is you want our help with?
Well, what I want you to help me with is capturing the small armed group responsible for attacking the Watchtower and the Republican Army's base. What did you just say? You saw those mortars earlier, right? There's a bunch more hidden near the Republican Army's base. I'm guessing it was the same group that set them up at both locations.
Wait.
Do you have any idea who this armed group might be?
Well, I'm not 100% sure or anything. But they look like a bunch of Jaeger dropouts, so I'm guessing they're working for a pretty meaty chunk of Mira. I was on my way to go find out for sure.
Wait, then.
You know where they are?
Sure do. They're up in the north of the Highlands. If you promise to help me out, I'd be happy to show you the way. So, how about it?
All right, you have our aid. I'm Rean Schwarzer, Thors Military Academy, Class 7.
Gaius Warzel.
I'm Elisa Reinford. It's, nice to meet you.
My name is Emma Milstein. It's a pleasure to make your acquaintance.
Eustace Alberea. And just so you know, you still have much to answer for regarding your intrusion into Auroch's fort.
You knew that was us, huh? It'd be super cool if we could just, put that whole thing behind us for the time being.
If we must.
Now.
Nice to meet you all, too. Anyway, what are we just hanging around here for? Let's make for the north of the Highlands.
All right, but I'd like to swing by the settlement first.
Yeah, we should use their telephone to report back to Zendergate about everything we found out so far.
Okay, let's get going then. Oh, yeah. Are you going to be riding on the back of your thing?
Well, I could, but I think I'm gonna ride on the back of your horse instead.
Wait, what?
Lammy!
Whoa! It vanished.
And the way it did so seems familiar somehow.
Come on, are we going or not? Let's go catch us some big bad wannabe Jaegers!
you keep squirming around back there, you're gonna fall off.
Is that Milliam's party? She's stronger than us, low 33 meters. A Republican Army airship. What's it doing in these deep highlands? This is what they call invasive reconnaissance or something like that, right? There is these trespass with just enough force to see what the enemy's up to and how many troops they've got. So what's their aim? Just who are you? It's a secret. Anyway, don't you guys need to get a hold of Zendergate? She's right. Let's move. Oh, I'm sorry. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Bro, you're all safe. I'm so glad you're okay. We saw a Republican airship flying overhead. Yeah, it's been circling up there for a while. Is there really going to be war? Yeah, we're doing everything we can to make sure that doesn't happen. We need to hurry and borrow the Elder's telephone. So, you have reason to believe that an armed group is hiding in the Northern Highlands. It seems like that's what's going on. We're currently on our way to investigate. I suppose our hope depends on this. Very well. I'm seeing you're like 1,500 Union Guard. We'll do. We do whatever. Postpone any conflict. So the culprits used to be members of the Yetter Corps. I've heard the term mentioned before, but I know little of them. Oh, they're trouble, that's for sure. Let us handle this. We're not going to let anyone start war here. It appears that even if I wish to sway you, your mind's already made up. And let's see if I can get this phone and pick up the orbital waves from your ARC unit. Now, give me a call and see if anything happens. Thank you, Grandfather. May the winds and the gods guide you. I'll be praying for your safety. Yeah, let's jam. Okay, we're counting you. Show us the way. We're in the Northern Highlands. Are they hiding anyway? Oh, I think you should probably know the place. I know, you know the huge section over here? Street people room around the back. That's where they're all holed up. Okay. Shit. Yeah, those guys are crazy. Yeah. Stupid bastards. Yeah, I never trusted these. Fuck you, bitch!
Yeah!
I wouldn't trust that fucker. Oh, yeah, you trust those people? Oh, my brain's acting up. Yeah, we gotta go away. Shut up. Yeah, oh, yeah. Yeah, they're doing something now. We're not really move out anytime. Oh, it's you guys. Sorry. But I don't think I have time to do something. Things gotten serious here. Alright, I have a book here I was bringing in my downtime. Looks like I won't have time to sit back and read anymore. Take it, it's fine, good. Oh, I'm sorry. Chapter 7, Parting Ways. I have no further need of your assistance. His mind still reeling from the skill that Rose demonstrated in her earlier battle. The only way he could react to her words was with dumbfounded silence. There are plenty of ways he could have argued back, at least by pointing out that they had yet discovered the vampire's identity and that the reason he had originally agreed that they work together was so that he could use his position in the army to aid her doing so. As if reading his mind, she said, "I discovered the identity of the vampire this afternoon. As such, there's no longer anything you can do to help me." His initial reaction was doubt. How could she have possibly been the only one to discover the vampire's identity? When they had conducted their investigation together, but then it hit him. They hadn't always been together. They had split up to investigate a wider area today, too. And if she had discovered a vital clue during a period where they were acting separately, it made perfect sense that only she would have worked out the fucking truth. He tried again, but still, I have my reasons for wanting to see this through to the end, too. I can't just go back to living as none of this ever happened. Rose knew this already, of course. He had told her about his parents' murder once already and made her realize that the two cases might be connected, bitch. She decided her reaction, making it perfectly clear that pointing out that would do nothing to change her mind. She met his eyes again, unwavering in a slice as she said, "Allow me to put my position to you more bluntly. You are not a help, you are a hindrance." It was as if a sharp blade had pierced his chest. Her words left him shocked and speechless. She continued, "I would have thought that anyone who looked around would be able to realize that this is not a matter that ordinary people can or should involve themselves in." As she spoke, she gestured in the direction of the ghouls, or rather human corpses that were once ghouls, littering the surrounding area. Some were riddled with bullet holes, some had smashed scales, some had no heads at all. Her words caused Alphonse's memory to return once again to the battle he had witnessed, even if he had tried to intervene earlier. Than he did. Would he have been able to do anything? No, on the contrary, it was easy to imagine him getting in Rose's way, becoming a liability, interfering with her ability to fight. Alphonse looked down at the ground dejectedly. It was galling to hear and realize that he might be useless in this. Rose opened her mouth to continue her gaze somewhat distant. A long time ago, I tried to pursue another vampire with the help of a civilian just like you. I was hesitant at first, but after he insisted so vehemently, I eventually accepted, bitch. Alphonse looked up, stunned at what he was hearing. He had assumed that he was the first person to offer to assist her. He was killed by a vampire we were pursuing, and after that, the vampire disappeared, never to be seen again. It was clear by the pain in her voice that for someone whose life revolved around killing vampires, there could have been no worse outcome. All jobs I've undertaken, that was my worst failure and the most terrible thing on my record. I will not allow something like that to happen again. As such, I've always tried to keep you at arm's length. All I wanted from you was for you to make it easy for me to conduct my investigation and find out what I wanted to know. I was just using you all along. She continued on, telling him that everything had gone the way she hoped, and it would perhaps even better thanks to his contribution. She had been able to discover the identity of the vampire, and the army was able to find out what it looked like, helping them to keep people off streets and allowing her to successfully lure the vampire out. For that, at the very least, she was grateful. Alphonse could only stand and listen as her cold words washed over him, the meaning of what she was actually saying not truly sinking in. She fell silent for a moment and took a deep breath before starting again. The worlds we live in are just too different. We should never have even met, and yet by coincidence we did. But that's all. Now you need to forget that it ever happened. Go back to the life you should have always lived. Besides, as a vampire hunter, the only life for me is one of solitude. She gave a small, self-appreciating smile before turning it to walk away from him. Seeing that smile and hearing what she said, something struck Alphonse as off, and yet he could not call out to her. It was as there was no impenetrable wall between them now, stopping him from interacting any further with her. I can take care of everything by myself now. All I ask of you is to stay away and let me do it. Farewell. She said her final words as she walked without so much as turning to face him, and then disappeared. Into the dark night left behind, Alphonse stood alone, frozen to a spot in a sea of blood. The next day, 10 identified bodies were discovered in Heimdall. and the surrounding area filled with disorder, the likes of which had never been seen before. Numerous soldiers moved to and fro, surveying the area under Gerard's direction, while crowds of curious onlookers tried to get a closer look at the gruesome display. Even Alphonse, who had been removed from the main investigation team, had been called in to assist this time. Alphonse had expected the bodies to be heavily disfigured from Rose's attacks, but when he reached the scene, he could see no evidence whatsoever that the previous night's battle had even taken place. The only marks on the bodies were the bite marks left by the vampire. At first, that fact confused him, but then he remembered that Rose was somehow connected to the church. It seemed quite possible then that she would have worked alongside others, one or more, who may have provided later to disguise any evidence of their involvement. After all, the church had the ability to purify weapons to allow them to contend with vampires. The possibility that they might be able to put corpses back together was hardly a stretch after all the things he had already witnessed. Realizing how ludicrous that would sound to the average person, he could only laugh himself under his breath. There was no sign of Rose at the scene, although Alphonse hadn't really expected that she would appear to begin with. She made it clear the previous night that their original arrangement was over. Most likely, Rose would go on to bring an end to the vampire murders herself in secret, but the culprit never apprehended, and the fact that vampires actually existed never being revealed to the world. But could he live with everything ending that way? There was still one burning down in Alphonse's heart, a lingering unease that refused to go away. The expression on her face as she had turned to walk away. As a vampire hunter, the only life for me is one of solitude. That may have been what she said, but the sad smile on her lips when she did so told a different story. Coolness underlined with resignation, her words had been blunt, but to Alphonse they also seemed tinged with loneliness. Alphonse found himself reflecting on what loneliness meant for him. It was a feeling he was all too familiar with after losing his parents. In the blink of an eye, he had been left with no one who cared for him, no one who would who'd be kind to him, no one who would look out for him. It was easy to imagine how being placed in a situation like that would gradually eat away at a person. Fortunately for Alphonse, his father's friend had held out his hand of salvation to him, and he had later met others like Luca who cared for him and he for them. It was thanks to them that he was able to free himself of the loneliness that may have otherwise consumed him. Nonetheless, the experience had taught him exactly how painful living like that could be, and that humans could not completely live alone. Rose, however, had said that living in solitude was the only life for her. But did she honestly mean that, or did she really long to break free from it? Yes, something was stopping her from doing so. With the memory of his own experience still painful even after all those years, Alphonse couldn't stop wondering. That was when he made up his mind, bitch. He wouldn't just leave things as they were. Rose may have cast him aside, but he had long ago decided what he needed to do to put the past behind him. And no matter how much danger he risked doing it, or how much she tried to stop him, he was determined to see it through to the end. If that meant he might be a hindrance to her, so be it. This was his fight as much as hers. I don't know, man. You gotta be careful. Alphonse shook his head. Fuck you, bitch. Fiercely from side to side, as if to divest himself of the doubts and hesitations that had been filling his mind since the previous night. Focusing on a task at hand, he set about frantically investigating the area that he felt was the only way for him to be able to stand shoulder to shoulder with her. Time dragged on as the search continued, and the receding rays of the apricot sun began to blanket the scene in warm apricot hues. The 10 corpses had been carried away, and the vast majority of onlookers had dispersed. A large number of soldiers formed the investigation team had also reached a stopping point in their investigation and were ready to return for the day. But Alphonse waved them off, still slightly combing the area for clues. Come on, Al. It's time to go back to the guardhouse for the day. The concern in Gerard's voice was obvious, but Alphonse only spared him a tired smile. Sorry, sir. Just let me look around for a bit. Just let him around for a bit longer, considering the intense battle fought between Rose and the vampire the previous night. There was every chance that something may have been left behind that might help guide him to the vampire's identity. The investigation team had found no such thing, despite being entirely looking, but that did nothing to dampen Alphonse's spirits. There was something here, he knew it. Seeing Alphonse's determination, Gerard couldn't help but smile in return. All right, Ben, have it your way. Just make sure you don't stop and come back. If you get too tired, with a backwards wave, he walked off to join the other soldiers as they returned to the guardhouse. Finally, thanking Gerard for his kindness, Alphonse went back to scouring the alley. Another half hour passed while Alphonse methodically swept his eyes over every nook and cranny. As the light from the dipping sun retreated from the sky, he began to fear that his time was up. But just then, his eyes were drawn to a point between two of the buildings. It was a narrow gap overlooking the investigation where something might have fallen. Indeed, he spied a barest of shapes on the ground. Upon spying, Alphonse remembered seeing something fly from the vampire when Rose had landed her glancing slash on his chest. He grasped down to expect the space. The gap between the buildings was so narrow that his arm could barely fit inside. He stretched out his fingers, desperately trying to reach the fallen object, and eventually managed to catch it between his index and middle fingers. It was narrow, a rectangular piece of cloth. Alphonse stared at it. He noticed every last detail on its surface. It was filthy gray in color, most likely meaning that it had been white originally. It was also clear that it had been separated from something by Rose's sword. But other than that, it looked like an ordinary piece of cloth. It would have likely been nothing of interest at all to anyone just passing by, anyone other than Alphonse, that is. Looking at it, he finally understood everything. The reason Rose had suddenly chosen to part ways with him and a true identity vampire who was terrorizing the city. Alright, fuck you people. Okay, I'll have a nice day, man.
Let's get going. Yeah.
Sorry, guys. I'm kind of going a little off lately. I don't really want to see war right now, but it's not bad for us since we're pretty mobile and for return once over, but Charlotte might have to leave things if worse comes to worse. No, I can't be getting distracted thinking about Charlotte when I've got packing to do. Focus. I don't want to see Charlotte come some more. As long as I didn't have it, I can deal with anything else. I'm sorry. Wow. Just you scared me. My best friend.
Yeah.
Oh, if we keep up this pace, we might make it in time after all.
Yeah.
Not might. We will make it in time.
Yeah.
No. Oh, no.
Whoa.
Right now? Yeah, you fuck up.
Yeah. Whoa.
This one looks dangerous.
Go.
Be careful.
All right, let's do this!
It's my turn. Analyzing the enemy's vitals. I've got it.
Stone golem. A golem created from stone which appears in every line lakes and cause air paints by stepping on the ground.
All right.
Okay, guys.
Here I go!
Well, I'm fine.
Come on, Lammy!
Here we go! Flames, gavel on my... strike!
It's my turn. Gleaming glow. Now. Gaius.
Got it! It's my turn. There!
Here I go! No more chance!
All right. It's this! Thanks!
Thank you very much.
Here we go!
Yeah.
Doing.
Gleaming glow.
Here I go! No more chance! You bad guys better watch
Just
out!
keep moving.
I did it!
Making progress.
Nice.
A matter of course.
Yeah.
Nicely done.
Yeah, y'all curved something actually. Y'all didn't. That one was a toughie. Managed to scrape out a win, but I'm still not exactly sure what it even was. What's a creature like that doing here in North? Looked like a golem out of an old fairy tale. As we fought it, I recall that gargoyle we fought in the old squalls on our first day. Just we're back to Lock-On. Yeah, if we get a chance, let's head back to this settlement. No. God, you're all evil. Everyone's evil.
Yeah!
Once you managed to defeat that mysterious creature, you just come on, say thankfully yes. It certainly put up a fight, but we persevered in the end. Glad to hear it. I'm still a bit concerned that it picked now of all time spirit, but we can worry about that later. Here's the situation at the moment. I really appreciate that you were able to defeat it all. Here is for your troubles. Wow, that's why I called Hammers. Thank you so much. We sure to make the most out of all this. I'm the one who asked you to deal with it in the first place, so it's the least I could do. I wish you all the best in resolving this current crisis. Stay safe. Thanks, Dad. Alright, little bitch. Let's go. What the hell is wrong with you, man? Alright, guys, all right, this one here. Rest there for y'all. Peace with you all. The end of the new see you. Bye-bye.